Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball Z. Now today I'm going to give you guys a little analysis of a post on Dorkly.com. I'll leave it down below if you guys want to check it out, but it is the 5 Dragon Ball Z fan theories that would supposedly make the show better. So let's see how true these may hold, or if the person who ever made this post does not know what the hell they're talking about. So, number 1, and there's going to be a lot of reading in this, guys, because if I leave stuff out, I know there's going to be people that complain about it. So, be aware of that. Number 5. Super Saiyans are not that special. Okay, we have a picture of Goku here. From the moment you saw the opening theme song of Dragon Ball Z, you were waiting for the moment promised when Goku finally went Super Saiyan. And when his hair finally ignited and his eyes changed to a tint of baby blue, which does change throughout the series at certain points, right before the longest 5-minute fight of the entire history of the universe, you pumped your I don't know that word, dude. This guy got some big words, man. Oh, prepubescent. I'm an idiot. I have trouble reading sometimes. Prepubescent fists in the air because it was all worth it. That moment is undoubtedly one of the most satisfying in the series, which makes it kind of a bummer when you consider it wasn't a big deal at all. Okay, let's see what he's got to say here. Even though the legendary Super Saiyan transformation is talked about in hushed tones for the much of the series, for the Saiyan race, it should never have been a major achievement. Hell, even a couple of first graders pulled it off. How is that anyways? Think back to before Frieza, Alderaan, the planet, I'm guessing that's Alderaan, yeah, like Star Wars reference there. Frieza, Alderaan, the planet Vegeta. Saiyans were a super race of cosmic dicks, traveling the galaxy and dominating every planet they could. They were kind of like Scarfacing, or spacefaring, why did I say Scarfacing? Spacefaring Spartans. Any personal qualities that didn't involve strength and arrogance were frowned upon. It seemed to work out for them for a while, because during the Saiyan reign, the people were never really challenged. Saiyans rarely had to push themselves emotionally or physically, so it's no wonder nobody wants Super Saiyan. But because Goku is raised around humans, he learns their compassion and eventually changes form after a traumatic loss. Gohan, Trunks, and Goten are able to do this much earlier, potentially because they're half human and therefore more in touch with their emotions. Really though, Vegeta proves any Saiyan has the capacity to go super. If Nappa had stuck around longer, he'd probably have sported a pointy long mustache sooner or later, and you can bet that if humans had their ability to go Super Saiyan, pretty much everyone on the street would look like a buff guy. Fairy, that cook dude, I don't know his name. I don't know how to say your last name, man. I'm sorry, but I know who you are. But humans don't have this ability, so you can stop screaming and clenching your fists in your room right now. I mean, it's not really, this isn't really a fan theory, it's just a statement that it's a Super Saiyan bargain sale. It's not even a theory. Super Saiyan is a special thing. There's pretty much every Saiyan can do it at this point, because after Goku and Vegeta, everyone knows, it's pretty much known how to tap into it. Goku taught Gohan how to tap into that power, and Goten and Trunks could just do it. I mean, it's not really a theory, it's just a statement about the show. Sorry if I read terribly, guys. Well, it's also 2 a.m. and I just got done with the Black Ops 3 midnight release. But hopefully these other ones, they don't look like they have nearly as much reading, so I apologize if anyone gets bored, but I don't want to leave anything out and have people bitching and complain about it. So, number 4, Krillin is the most skilled fighter on the show. This is going to be an interesting one. They're probably going to use a lot of filler, but that's whatever. No one is going to argue that Krillin is the strongest fighter in Dragon Ball Z. That's not what we're talking about here. Everyone knows that Goku's ingrown toenail has a higher power level than his bald buddy. That's actually pretty funny. No, we're talking about skill level. Despite overwhelming odds, Krillin stuck in there for most of Dragon Ball Z. He was hanging with the Saiyans, Frieza, the androids, and even a bit of Cell. Something to keep in mind, keep him in the fight. Something had to keep him in the fight, and it sure wasn't his aerodynamic headbutts. This picture right here. Krillin is severely underpowered compared to pretty much everyone else, but that's the whole point. Because he is so weak, Krillin had to learn to use what he had to his fullest potential. Whereas Goku and Vegeta got nice power boosts after every battle because they're born Saiyans. Hence Zenkai boost, which they left out there, but they probably figured people knew. Krillin had to learn to survive in a world that outclassed him by miles. Somehow he managed to stay relevant at a fraction of the power of those around him. Imagine what it'd be like if Krillin was imbued with the power of Goku. He'd easily eviscerate other fighters in the universe simply because he had to train harder and smarter than everyone else in the series. People make fun of Krillin for dying a lot, but that's because he's always in the fight. Whether or not he's guaranteed cell meat, let's face it guys, Yamcha is the real Krillin here. I can see what they're going with this theory, but I don't agree. They didn't really give any points that he's a good fighter. He's not successfully defeating these strong opponents. I would still say Goku is a much more skilled fighter than Krillin. Definitely. I think there's plenty of people that are better fighter. I think Tien's a better fighter. They're just saying Krillin's got balls. They're really not saying he is the most skilled fighter. Maybe he just has balls. That's not indicative of him being a very skilled fighter at all. So this theory right here is kind of debunked. And these last two theories, to be quite honest, aren't really even theories, guys. I don't really see what they're trying to pull here. Okay, let's see what the next one is. Oh boy. Bulma's mom is an android made by her dad. Okay. I already see some stupid crap getting around in this one. Ever notice how Bulma's mom stays consistently young throughout the series? Yes, everybody and their grandma has noticed that. Thank you. During the Majin Buu saga, Mrs. Brief is supposedly pushing 70, but she had her tube stop still look straight out of the MTV singled out. There's only one possible explanation. No, not years of painful cosmetic procedures. The Dragon Ball Z solution being that Dr. Brief built an android to be his eternally babeful wife. There are some natural questions that arise with this kind of fan theory. So, does that make Bulma half an android? Can androids even give birth to human children? The answer is this. Just like Mr. Oh boy, it shows that this person does not, first of all, probably hasn't watched Dragon Ball and doesn't even understand the difference. Why Android 18? Okay, let me just read this part and give it a shot. Just like Mr. Brief's Android 18 remains youthful for years after her husband succumbs to old age, 18 is able to give birth to two children without a problem, but mostly because she was once human before she was kidnapped and turned to a cyborg. Thank God. Yes, she's a cyborg, not an android. By the evil Dr. Gero, if Miss Brief suffered the same fate, it would put a new and terrible undertone on her sunny disposition. Inside, she could be crying out for help while her program mandates that she stay a loving wife to her captor husband. Compare that to having a bomb planted inside you. It doesn't sound so bad. Okay, well this was a stupid theory in the first place, and I can actually debunk it with some facts from the series. Now, whether or not you think Dr. Brief or Dr. Gero is stronger, the androids from the Red Ribbon Army were not as advanced as Mrs. Brief's human appearance and 18's. So there you go. I'm pretty sure she's not a cyborg or a Jinzo Negan. So I don't think this is even a possible or plausible theory, and it's pretty crazy. Even if this was true, how the hell would this make the series better? That's what I want to know here. Number 2, Frieza lost to Goku out of sheer laziness. Now this one sounds dumb, but it does sound a bit interesting at least. Villains in general usually have an arrogance problem. They see no problem in strolling away from a room while their rival slowly descends into a pit of lava. In their mind, there is no conceivable way that their bulletproof schemes could go wrong. The same could be said for Frieza, who remains blind to the idea that he can never be defeated until he meets a certain Super Saiyan. But the difference between Frieza and a James Bond movie villain is that Frieza actually has the skill to conquer the universe, if only he applies himself. Seriously, the dude has severe possible transformations at his disposal, but he chooses to scoot around in his hover chair. Frieza is immensely powerful, but refuses to use his abilities to his advantage because he's too damn lazy. When he blows up Planet Vegeta with one finger, Frieza is the only in his first form and still sitting in his hover chair. Why does he ride around that thing when he even has his own spaceship? His own ship is inexplicably explicable unless he just wants to get in front of the line of all the rides at Disneyland. The thing is, we know Frieza is capable of a lot more, and it wouldn't take much effort. In Dragon Ball Z movie Resurrection F, Frieza is wished back to life and immediately starts plotting his revenge against Goku, afraid of getting his ass handed to him by a Super Saiyan God. Frieza decides to train until he's up to snuff. It only takes 4 months for Frieza to unlock his new shinier form, 4 months for what took a Super Saiyan years to achieve. If Frieza had trained like 1 day a month, Planet Fitness leading up to the Namek Saga, Goku would have never been a problem, but he decided to cruise around his space rascal. Okay, well, this isn't really a theory either because Frieza is a little bit lazy. He doesn't like to train and put effort into things. This is more, again, of a statement, and to be quite honest, it's just common sense. This isn't really a theory, and it's not... I don't see how this would be indicative of the show being better still, and oh my god, what is number 1? Hopefully you guys can't see whatever is over on the right side of the screen here if I smush the screen because it says 7. This is another post from them. 7, what the fuck anime sex scene that you can't look away from. No, I will not be doing a video on that in the future. The world would have been much better off without Goku. Now, this one I can already tell ahead of time that it's a Dragon Ball Z fan theory list, but at the same time, you have to take in consideration the original series, for the love of God. Okay, let's read this. Goku means well. He really does. When Goku gave Frieza 38 different chances to live only to immediately and repeatedly be betrayed, he was doing it out of the sense of honor. It was hard to knock the guy when he saved the planet countless times, but maybe the planet wouldn't need saving if Goku never existed. This is already wrong, but I'll continue on. Say Goku was never sent to Earth. Raditz never comes looking for him, which means that Vegeta and Nappa would never come to Earth looking for the Dragon Balls. Dr. Gero wouldn't vow to murder a child that he doesn't know about, so he never makes the androids or Cell. And with no Super Saiyans on Earth, there'd be no energy for which to release Majin Buu from his cocoon, and since everyone is agreed that Dragon Ball GT never happened in the timeline, that about wraps up major bad guys threatening the world. Sure, there'd be evil lurking in the hearts of men, but that's where these guys come in. Without any burdens like running from hooking up with killer aliens from outer space, Bulma and the Capsule Corporation will be free to build their massive technological empire. We know Bulma in particular is a brilliant scientist. She created a time machine in her basement. She's basically the Iron Man of DBZ universe. But she never got a chance to shine because she was always preoccupied with the latest world-shattering crisis. The Red Ribbon Army wouldn't stand a chance against Capsule Corp at their full potential. Let that be a lesson for you. Never let an alien man monkey get in the way of your dreams. Well, number 1, we don't know if Majin Buu would never get released, because even though he's not present in Majin Buu and Trunks' timeline, even though it would happen way down the line, there are powerful warriors around the universe that would eventually be detected, I'm sure, so it still could have happened. As for Raditz, yes, that wouldn't happen. Frieza more than likely still would have come across Earth eventually. The dude's got a huge empire. Even though the universe is huge, he would have eventually come around Earth and there wouldn't be anything that they could do about it. As for the Red Ribbon Army, they still most likely could have taken over the world if they got androids more powerful. It's not unlikely that if they needed it, they would have built more and more powerful androids to take over the world. So this really isn't true. I don't think. I think the world had plenty of time to be threatened. Not to mention Tien Shinhan, whether or not he's weaker than Master Roshi or not, there's arguments to be made for both sides. I think Master Roshi probably could have handled Tien. Most likely there's more evidence to support that, but Tien still would have been with the Crane School. There's a lot of different things that these guys didn't cover from Dragon Ball. but I can see where they're going with this one. But again, I guess that one would be more of a theory, but kind of a what if. But I disagree with a lot of things in this article. One thing I can say about this article, which was good, is that it was very well written. I'll give him props. But Tristan Cooper, you need to look at the series a little bit better. But you did write this article very well, and I'll give you props for that. But let me know what you guys think of each of these fan theories. I definitely don't agree with a lot of them, and try to debunk all 5 of them in the comment section down below. If you want, play along, link to the article down below. Try to debunk these in the comment section down below. I put my 2 cents in off the top of my head, but a lot of you guys know I'm pretty knowledgeable about the series, but I definitely do forget things off the top of my head. So if I left anything out, please feel free to mention in the comment section down below. And before I go, again, I apologize if I stumbled when reading. I've never been very good at reading, but I tried my best and I knew I had to read it all, so hopefully it wasn't too painful to listen to. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.